With that, please welcome to the stage the director of this show, Noelle, Viers.
Main stage. Now we've cut it down, we've made it a one act. Pretty much it's just about a transplant group in a hospital, and they start out as a normal day. They're just classifying patients, who's more important to get what heart, but then it turns into who's actually going to get a heart. They have to decide between 3 patients, and it becomes a life or death situation. It's a very serious show. I hope you guys enjoy it. Not there. That's Dr. Ross's chair.
Please understand, Mr. Hero's over here.
Here.
This is Dr. Thomas.
They always sit in the same chairs?
Like clockwork, every Monday morning since day 1.
How long ago was that?
Coming around 8 years.
8 years?
Before that, I was there to the Colonel Party.
Good morning.
Have you met Dr. Gorman?
Not yet.
Trust me, the life of life.
Noelle.
Jack!
I should take more time off.
Not that way you shouldn't. What are you doing here? You should be home in bed.
Jack, is this a visitor or are you back?
Good to see you too, Alex.
You must be Dr. Banks. Jack Lee. Happy to have you. For good things.
Dr. Lee, it's an honor to work with you in your program.
One walk through the ward and it's like I never left. Look out there, doctor. Dark clouds, slick streets, countless catastrophic opportunities.
I don't understand.
Have you been on the floor yet, doctor?
No.
Everyone who can walk is standing in the solarium, holding onto their IV poles, looking out into the ER driving with their fingers crossed.
Isn't that morbid?
It's human. If they're going to live, somebody has to die.
Just so you know, Jack, I was the one that told maintenance to unlock this place.
Why?
Learned the Irish David heart healthy. Green side of the that too. Now, who are you?
I'm
It's
Kevin.
totally tactical. Are we in a hospital or a cruise ship?
Good morning.
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness, Jack, it's so good to see you. I had no idea.
No one did.
How are you feeling?
200%. And I'm so sorry. I called.
A dozen times. I know. My mail, the messages. You wouldn't want to see my desk.
I wish I could have been there.
You could have. And your letter meant a lot.
We need to talk about your letter. I'm not accepting it.
Well, no, you
We'll
have
discuss
to.
it later.
Dr. Blazer's here.
Didn't do it last time.
When are you going to tell me?
You missed my lobbyist blood?
Now I understand your secret company, Jack.
Father! Jack Lee.
Charlie Dunbar. Thanks for letting me sit in.
We haven't. Who is he?
Father Dunbar's on the hospital board. Since we'll be discussing Donnie Blazer, they thought it a good idea he joins.
So, since when do we need some sort of moral watchdog?
And you are
Dr. Albert Storman.
Of course, Chief of Cardiac Surgery. And it's a pleasure, doctor. Truth is, I'm not here today as a man of law. I don't have the experience. I've only been ordained 2 years. Before that, I was a defense attorney for 34. I'm here this morning to pray that you won't be.
Amen.
Let me introduce Dr. Ed Rosser, head of psychiatry, and Dr. Kiara Banks. I can't tell you how good it is to be back. And I'd like to thank Dr. Gorman for leading the committee these past few weeks.
It was nothing. Alright, so you're filling touch with the board and leaving?
I can.
You were missed, Jack.
Dr. Viers is staying right here. She is presenting Dr. Felker as his proxy.
What proxy? These meetings are confidential. Neither of these two should be here.
Dr. Banks, you've been briefed on our protocol.
I have.
As far as Father Dunbar,
My lips are sealed. Consider it a confession.
I want on record that I object.
Noted. Ooh, green donuts. Enjoy.
anyone else? Nella. Nurse Larkin's our transplant coordinator.
You have today's schedule. Dr. Felker flew to Philadelphia this morning, removed the heart at 6 a.m., and was back in New York at 7:40. His ETA is 8:20. His lungo is being prepped now.
I just saw
Dr.
it.
Felker will operate. Oh, how is he?
He's doing well. All signs are strong. He asked me to sedate his wife.
I'm impressed by your program statistics. 95% of your patients survive the operation. 85% live up to 6 months more. 65% are still alive. Good numbers.
About to drop.
We don't know that.
That means you look at the numbers. UNOS evaluates the statistics every 4 years. Those numbers are based on our first 4. In June, year 8, those numbers will nosedive.
We've had an unusual run of heart injections.
And poor decision making, based on criteria more sentimental than scientific.
Here we go.
That's not true, Alex.
If you're worried about our UNOS rating,
Somebody has to be. I plan to be here 4 more years. Do you? I was talking about retirement, not
cancer. It's fine, Alex. So am I.
All I'm trying to say is that for the sake of the program, all decisions that we make should be based upon measurable medical data. If we keep making decisions like that, we'll need more than body displays, we'll need life support. We cannot afford any more failure, it's that simple.
Nurse Larkin, it's Dr. Felker. He's on 2507.
Peter?
Is that you, Jack?
It's me!
Can you hear me?
I can.
Winds are terrible up here. Feels like it's safe on the roof. Bring it down to La Jordilla.
You're going to hit rush hour on the bridge.
Plus parade traffic.
No, what's gunning time?
9:30.
He's being prepped now.
I say get the schedule. We got 4 hours to stick the heart. There's still 10. Latest.
We'll have a police escort waiting for you.
I'll need it. Dr. Banks?
I'm here.
You having fun yet?
Security, you need to please everyone to meet Dr. Felker at the bridge.
Patient Donnie Blazer.
All right then. We have 3 new patients to classify. Randall Pike, Serena Vasquez, and Donnie Blazer.
Donnie Blazer. I know that name.
Blazer Communications. His grandfather founded it, now his father, Donald II, runs it.
What does Donnie do?
He tams well parties and poses for peach sticks.
Tough crowd.
I don't know if people still say yikes.
Golly, they do.
Donnie was flown in last night from Aspen.
Daddy's plane?
Of course. We also admitted his girlfriend. She was treated for frostbite.
But not Donnie?
Can we hurry up?
I'll handle this, Alex.
Even if you were, you shouldn't be. You should be home recuperated and you know it.
I wouldn't be here unless I felt completely capable.
And magically, today, you do. Who called you in, Jack? The board or Donnie's father?
Mr. Blazer called the board. The chairman called me and asked for Father Dunbar here to sit in. They're concerned any decision we make is unassailable.
Justifiably concerned. More and more transplant decisions are ending up in courtrooms.
A small percentage.
That's all it takes. You know, Millbrook's being investigated for misrepresenting patients is critical, and UCP is being sued for misrepresenting a patient on their waiting list. One bad decision can bankrupt your program.
You mean Jack's program? That's why the board called you guys here. They didn't trust my run this meeting.
That's not true.
Gee, believe it or not, Jack, I would never stand for Donnie Blazer becoming the Mickey Mantle in our transplant hall of shame.
I know that.
I've worked just as hard as you or anybody else to build this program.
Alex, you're inspirational.
Easy, he's grieving. He's not in charge anymore.
If I was, you wouldn't be here.
That's enough. We don't have time, Alex, please. Donnie Blazer, 23 years
I'm still
old.
waiting for his blood test.
For?
Drugs and alcohol.
Well, that can make the decision for us.
How so?
Our drug and alcohol policies are written in stone. If a patient has a history of abusing either,
Or both. I'll let John in.
no transplant can even be considered until they're drug-free 6 months.
We implanted his defibrillator last August.
That was 7 months ago. Do you think you'd stay clean since?
We'll find out soon enough. Till then, we table Donnie and move on. I can't sit. I'm the only guy who blows his back out with bed rest. Noelle?
Mr. Randall Pike, age 49.
I think we can vote. Mine's no.
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 Dr. Riggs?
Dr. Felker says no.
So do I. Randall Pike, denied status.
Excuse me, but that's it?
What?
No, 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 and no heart? I mean, doesn't anyone want to say anything?
I do. We want Felker's opinion and not yours.
That's enough, Alex.
If he doesn't get on this list for a transplant, he doesn't have a chance.
Have you read his reports?
Of course I have. And I've examined the man.
Single, no spouse, no support system that he needs for future care. That's crucial.
Well, and he's ambivalent about the concept of a transplant. I mean, the idea of having someone else's heart inside his body disturbs him.
It's a lot to think about.
She's demanding and impatient when the nursing staff doesn't move fast enough to suit her.
He's dying. He's got maybe 6 months left.
And we don't have time for you to grow up.
Stop it, Alex.
I would be spoken to this way.
Then sit there with your mouth shut since you don't know enough to contribute. Let's move on.
I know your reputation as a surgeon, doctor. It's sad you're such a miserable human being.
Wrong again. I'm a very satisfied, very successful human being. Because I made a decision at your age that I would be the best cardiac surgeon in the area than the best friend, coworker, or spouse. And since my time is much more valuable than yours, I would suggest you don't waste more of it.
Despite his non-existent personal skills, what Alex is saying is true. We bring years of experience to this process. I'm glad to see your concern for Mr. Pacton. Now that we've reached a decision, we'll encourage him to reach out to other programs. Statistically, in some states, he'll stand a better chance.
Fine.
Serena Vasquez, 68. Isn't that old? Not if you're 69.
We don't discriminate on the basis of age.
Despite the fact that for 65, our statistics drop. And after 70, you might as well just flip a coin.
If we could reduce this to a number system, we could be replaced by a computer.
All I'm saying is she's just another case that we're reacting to emotionally.
She is not just a case. She is a human being who put her life in your hands. Anyone who can't respect that person or that trust shouldn't be here. Serena Vasquez.
I'll abstain from this vote.
Why?
Mrs. Vasquez almost died last year when she swallowed a whole bottle of Percocet. I really can't evaluate this woman fairly.
Because of your daughter's overdose, that was an accident.
She overdosed, Alex. She's just as dead.
Dr. Ross lost your daughter.
Very sorry.
My point being that my objectivity is compromised by anyone's overdose, compounded by the fact that Mrs. Vasquez wanted to die.
So you're aware of your bias and you work past it. You're a professional.
Alex, I'm not like you. I loved being a parent more than being a professional anything.
Ms. Martin? Set them right up.
Got any laser tests?
Yes.
I'll get them.
Dr. Ross is on.
I think it's the best thing for Anne if we finish our decision before she gets back. Noah?
Mrs. Vasquez received her first heart in 9 days.
First heart, she was one of our first transplants.
So now she's eligible for another. I would think with donors.
Everyone's evaluated individually.
Mrs. Vasquez was a model.
Until she tried to kill herself with our heart.
She made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, she did. She decided to die. Now that choice is ours.
We haven't run half the testing.
But can we wait? Heart's twice the size of
What does Felker say?
Monitor anticoagulants for 48 hours.
I agree completely.
So do I.
We'll be lucky to get our insurance company on the phone by then.
All right then.
Jack.
Money Blazers.
Before you open that, could I have a minute? I have a letter here from the hospital board to this committee. Obviously, this is an unusual situation, which is why I'm here. The board has asked me to relay a communication that occurred this morning. At approximately 1:15 a.m., Donald Blazer called the board chair to inform him he was flying his son here. He wanted St. Patrick's to be aware of his appreciation of their past care and knew we would do, quote, everything humanly possible, unquote, for his son now as well. To show his gratitude, and I quote again, regardless of my son's prognosis, I'm recommending that the Blazer Foundation grant a substantial financial gift to recognize the invaluable work of St. Patrick's Transplant Program.
I don't believe this.
He's bribing us?
Legally, no, again, regardless of my son's prognosis.
It's a legal loophole. He said that he recommended the grant. How can we get it?
Well, he is the Blazer Foundation.
He's a money-sucking monster.
That was
Blazer's
the
letter. Response.
We ignore it.
I hope we can.
Why can't we?
Well, consciously or unconsciously, Blazer's letter could be prejudiced against Don.
Exactly what we need to avoid. Johnny Blazer has to be treated the same as every other patient in this hospital. We can't allow ourselves to be influenced either way.
Noelle, what about you?
What about it?
You have nothing to say? That's a first.
I'll say this. I don't see why anybody's so surprised.
You all look at page 2, board response. St. Catherine's Hospital rejects any actual or implied attempt to curry special consideration. Our board stands behind the decisions of our transplant selection committee. Certain your son's needs will be held to the same high standards we apply to all of our patients. Sincerely, Scott Lacey, Chairman.
The buck has been passed.
You'd all sign at the bottom of page 3, which proves you're aware of both Blazer's statement and the board's response.
Am I the only one that finds this insulting?
It's protection for all of us.
Fine, fine. But I'm curious, did Blazer mention any sum for this substantial financial gift?
Is there anyone here who does not want to give a sum? Mr. Blazer offered the transplant program $50 million.
50 million?
I can't even imagine that much money.
I'm trying.
With that money, we get out of the program. No one on the East Coast could touch.
Yeah, but what are the results?
Donnie just calls it triple K.
Idiot.
Is there anything else we need to discuss? Anyone? Noelle, wrap up, please.
Serena Vasquez's decision postponed pending more tests. Order Pike denied. Bonnie Blazer disqualified.
All right then, we're adjourned. Alex, good luck with Mr. Longo.
One last question. Are these drug tests ever wrong?
They're 90% accurate.
It's Dr. Felker. He said the bridge is a parking lot. Well, he's getting around with the state trooper, but
We with the sirens.
he's on the back of the trooper's motorcycle with the heart.
We stick on schedule unless we learn anything else. As I was saying, they're 90% accurate.
We tell the patients our results, and if they argue with us, we take a second test.
Honey Blazer's sedated. He's not arguing with anyone.
Dr. Clear, office would like to see you. I'll wait the alarm.
Who's grabbing?
Lieutenant Robbins.
Thank you all. Anne, can you stay?
I really can't.
Just 1 minute.
Well, I'm going home to my years ago. Things scratched off the list.
I have the same dream.
Does it go away?
No, I'm afraid it doesn't.
May I escort you to the cafeteria for a salmonella buffet?
I'm booked solid.
Understood. Ever strong, ever silent. Counseling cowboy rolls off to the sunset. Hey, I'm walking here.
$50 million.
That's what he said.
I take it you're gonna cover Donnie's case?
Actually, I was hoping you would.
Really?
Tell you what, why don't we share the misery? You check in on Donnie and I'll call his father with the bad news.
Fair enough.
Just one question though. Donnie was unconscious in the ER, but his girlfriend said he was complaining of a respiratory infection. Just to cover all our bases, since she didn't list an antibiotic.
You're thinking generic amoxicillin? It could test false positive as cocaine. I'm way ahead of you, Jack.
You always are. I depend on you, Alex.
Save your energy. My mind's made up. I'm resigning as soon as you fill my position.
Don't resign. Take a leave. Take time to think it over.
Think what? After all these years, I failed my own daughter.
You did everything you could.
If I did, she'd be here. You know what really fight over? She wouldn't turn off the news. I'd come home and she'd run through the day's horror stories. How many civilians were shot, which churches were bombed, which tornadoes were coming. She needed me to promise things wouldn't get worse. And when I would lie and I would say, honey, it won't, she would turn on the TV again and watch a reporter beheaded.
Man, I can't lose you. You do tremendous work here. Don't run away from it. Monica wouldn't want you to, not because of a terrible accident.
Jack, it wasn't an accident.
Don't mind me. Some of us are still working.
I'm glad you're back.
receptionist. Tell me, the radiation did nothing?
It's metastasized. I can't sit still. I can't lay down. Every time I do, I feel like making it easier for the cancer cells to spread. If I stand, if I pace, I pretend I cannot run it.
How much time?
5 months, 6 maybe.
What do doctors know?
That's what I've heard.
Excuse me, don't mean to intrude, just like forgot my things.
Not a problem.
These decisions you make, and every week, my hat's off to you.
Keep it on. It's good you came.
There's just one thing you said that confused me.
What was that?
You said Donna's father called the board first, and then the board contacted you. Or at least I think you said that. Did I? It's just that when I spoke to the chairman, he said the first person Blazer's father called was you, and then you contacted the board.
Louis Longo's dead.
What?
He died on the table. Heart was going fine and his heart just stopped, no reason. They tried resuscitation, but couldn't get him on the respirator before brain damage.
Did you call your nurse?
There's no time to redirect the heart, even if we could reach Dr. Bunker. That heart's got to be beating in 90 minutes.
Jack, I know. Who gets the heart? Make a decision before Feather gets here.
Who's stats one?
Only the patient with the wrong size and the wrong blood type.
So who's a match?
Pike, we dropped. Blazer, who's disqualified, and we're still waiting on tests for Vasquez.
Not anymore. We got no hands on any crap time. Go find Shannon Robbins. We're going to the OR. Jack, what are we going to do?
Doctors Shannon Robbins to the OR to staff.
Jack, make the decision now or I will.
Noah, call the committee back.
Jack, you idiot. You can't be throwing the life away. What if we're too late?
Then you'll get my job soon.
Jack, where are you going?
Remember Mrs. Longo? Maybe one of us should tell her that her husband died.
Jack, hello, are you there?
Dr. Felker, doctor, it's me, Viers.
Jack, we have a problem.
Dr. Felker, doctor! Did you hear?
I did.
Who's missing?
Your own Father Dunbar.
Sorry without them.
We'll give them a minute.
Under the circumstances, this is my majority rule.
I will decide that, Alex.
Jack, the only patient that we didn't rule out was Mr. Vasquez, and you know how I feel.
Not about Donnie Blazer.
Blazer?
Sorry, I'm late. Excuse me. I think that's my chair.
Nobody owns their own chair!
I do.
Just that I left my things.
No problem, I'm moving. Dr. Felker called back, but all I got was static.
Update on Donnie.
He's unconscious. I spoke with his girlfriend earlier. She denies any cocaine or drug use. She said he could have been on an antibiotic without her knowing it.
Do you think his test is a false positive?
It's possible.
My staff's contacted his doctors to see if he's had a prescription filled.
Good. We should ask the nurses to check through Donnie's clothes or anything else they brought in.
Will do.
The girlfriend wants a sonogram.
Frostbite?
No, she's pregnant. She's concerned about keeping her baby.
The baby's Donnie's.
That's what she says.
Call Donnie's father. If we say his grandkid too, maybe he'll pop for $100 million. That's no joke.
Well, okay, did you ask how she got the frostbite?
That's not my concern.
Well, I don't understand why she has it and Donnie doesn't. Does she have a name?
Erica Matson. I went in to speak with her after you left.
What did you say, Father?
Donnie's the father, and he's clean.
That's a big if.
It is. But until we have proof of that, Donnie Blazer's not a choice.
He's guilty till proven innocent.
That, or risk jumping a patient because of a cokehead.
Okay, that's it. Vasquez gets the heart. That's her Blazer's clean within the next 45 minutes.
Except that I'd like to reconsider Randall Pike.
What?
Why, Dominic?
I went in to see him when I left here. I told him we couldn't give him a heart and explain the reasons. He took it differently than I expected.
What did he say?
He told me he'd spent most of his life being the angry, failed poet, and it wasn't until the last few days where he realized his failure was much more than that. This is a man dying in a hospital, and his only visitor has been his next-door neighbor who he barely knows who wants to buy his apartment.
That's terrible.
Mr. Pike asks us to reconsider.
We don't do that.
We've never had a situation like this. Pike agrees with every point of our evaluation. He wants a second chance. He begged me, and he asked me to beg you. He He said he wants a chance to matter.
Then he shouted, God bless everyone, and then he turned into the crutches. I don't believe a word.
Dominic, we didn't just deny Pike because of his social profile. He has no support system. He just admitted it. No one's even come to see him.
Which brings us back to Mrs. Vasquez.
Who had a large supportive family. She was happy to leave before she tried to
Are
kill
you
herself.
going to vote on Mrs. Vasquez?
Well, no,
Then
but
don't
I
talk
think-
about her either. We've known the Vasquez family for years now. This is a woman who raised 5 children, who all went to college while she worked full-time as a nurse.
Oh.
You think I'm influenced by her being a nurse?
Yes.
You bet I am. This woman spent up her life giving to other people and then gave away her golden years spoon-feeding a man who mentally left her years ago. She deserves everything we can give her, and she deserves it a lot more than somebody who admits he threw his life away.
You don't just admire this woman, you like her personally,
That's right.
which negates your criteria. You say your decisions are made on pragmatic medical grounds. Why should personality enter into it?
Character does.
So you presume to know the true character, the soul of Mrs. Vasquez.
No one's mentioned the word soul.
Would you prefer spirit or life force?
Jack, you shouldn't be here. It's like welding a welcome mat at Jehovah's Witness.
This is standard criteria. We evaluate a patient in terms of their relationships to others.
But make decisions based on your personal perception of those relationships.
He's not on the stand.
He might be. All of you might. If you make choices based on anything that cannot be quantified, you're playing God.
I'll be the first to step aside when he walks in here and votes, but in 7 years I haven't seen him once.
I'm sorry to hear you say that.
And you see God.
I do. Usually where I least expect.
36.
Stop that. It's like Nazi heat.
Can we vote?
What I hear is support for Mrs. Vasquez because of her contributions to her family and society, but concern about her overdose. Mr. Pike has had an epiphany of self-awareness and doesn't like what he sees, but that doesn't change the fact that he has no support system for future care.
He has no one. Period.
So we scratched again.
This is horrible.
Again.
What if I take it?
Tell me this isn't a joke.
The man admits he has no one. What should we tell him? Don't write a poem about it. No, they're wrong.
Dominic, think about this.
Think fast.
Coordinating aftercare is what I do best. I have a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bedroom I never even go into. I can arrange home nursing and put the man up till he's back on his feet.
Don't you live with your mother?
She died 3 years ago. Thanks for remembering. Point is, the man has no one. This might come as a surprise because he's here to bon vivant on wheels, but I know something about that. He can recuperate at my place, not alone.
Are you that lonely that you would take a stranger in?
And who would take you and Alex? Name one person. One.
Noelle, let's vote.
Mr. Piero, you support Mr. Pike.
I do.
Dr. Banks,
Mrs. Vasquez has had 68
age
years.
is not a criteria.
68 years, what seems to be a full life. A family, a career that's affected others.
High poetry has
I
it.
didn't say that.
And I don't want to hear about the Vasquez
I'm
burning.
stopping! Mrs. Vasquez has had 68 years of what Mr. Pike calls a chance to matter. He has not. I vote for Pike.
Me?
I appreciate Dominic's generosity, but I can only vote on the situation we have now, not an offer Mr. Pike might not even accept. I vote for Mrs. Vasquez.
So do I. Mr. Pike has 2 votes, Mrs. Vasquez 2, Dr. Ross abstains. Dr. Gordon?
I hate both options, but because we're obligated to go by facts and not fuzzy feelings. Based on the information we have in front of us, the choice is obvious. Randall Pike's insurance is covering the cost of transplant. Vasquez isn't.
Not yet.
Maybe
but-
never. Medically, neither patient is in immediate danger. Under the circumstances, I vote Pike.
That's a smart vote, Alex. The businessmen on the board will be thrilled.
You're not voting at all.
Because I can't be
And
fair.
sit there with your mouth shut. Like, but you psychiatrists are so good. You know, I don't know how.
How what?
I have nothing to say. Good.
No, say it, Alex.
Sam.
I want to hear it. You don't know how what?
How your daughter could stand it. Morality mom, always right, always the perfect person. And then you climb up on a pedestal to tell me what a lousy parent I am.
You have to see your children to be a parent.
And you've been watching them like you did?
Stop this right now.
You don't know who my kids, you don't know who I am.
You're a doctor, Alex. That's all you are. A doctor.
I said stop! This isn't about you. People are dying. How dare you waste this time with your pettiness?
That was Nurse McShane. She found capsules of Novaflarm in Donnie Blazer's ski jacket.
She's clean.
What's no
Generic amoxicillin. It tests all off of this cocaine.
We need a new vote.
It's Dr. Felker. He's getting on the subway.
The subway?
It's his fastest way here.
Let's go. We need a decision before that part gets here. Donnie Blazer, father of the
It's a catch-22. If we vote for Donnie right or wrong, it'll look like we did it for the money.
If our reasoning's solid, that's irrelevant.
Why don't we just turn the money down?
And sign ourselves in the Bellevue? Every hospital in the country gets donations from grateful patients.
Not before they're treated. This is blood money.
So what? If somebody has bribe money, guilt money, clean or dirty money, we should say thank you and put it to good work. I don't know about you, but nothing and no one in my life is pure. We picked Donnie Blazer, and we're not just saving one person. We're saving $50 million worth.
I agree completely.
Now that bothers me.
The numbers back us, and so do units. And the $50 million will have a cargo facilities nobody on the East Coast can touch.
The best money can buy.
Let's take a step back and look just at Donnie, not his father or his money. Compare him to Pike and Vasquez.
A Wendy Shakespeare and a bump of suicide.
And Donnie's a success.
He's young.
He's never done anything to fail at.
Support networks,
Serena Vasquez has a family. Randall Pike has no one.
responsibilities,
Her family's grown. Randall Pike has no one.
Donnie plays with her wife and a child to support.
And a family that supports him now.
Big time.
End of story. It's on Blazer. I said to go to work.
If I could say just one thing.
Father, what is the suicide rate of your sermons?
From what I'm hearing, your selection of Donnie Blazer hinges on one very convincing argument. That he will have a wife and child to support, which the others don't.
So what?
What if you're wrong? What if he won't support either of them? You're making assumptions.
That are completely logical. What do you want us to do? Shake Donnie awake and ask him?
No.
But we could ask his girlfriend, which you didn't, but Papa Dunbar did.
What did she say, Father?
isn't everything she told you confidential?
She didn't confess to me. She didn't even confide in me as a priest.
So what did she say?
She asked me if I knew a good lawyer. Miss Matson was concerned about keeping her baby.
Sonogram with frostbite, we know.
More than that, Donnie doesn't want to be a father any more than he wants to be a husband. And your belief that he does is just wishful thinking.
She's telling the truth.
What reason would you have to lie about it?
Simply relaying information, not making a value judgment.
21 minutes.
Final vote.
Dr. Ross, I have a question about Mrs. Vasquez.
Dr. Ross is the vote.
But we have to
I'm
now.
not asking her to vote. I'm asking her opinion as a psychiatrist so I can. Doctor, we know how patients' emotions can fluctuate after a transplant. Yes. So in your opinion, do you think Mrs. Vasquez might try to kill herself again?
She said she can't be
I'm
a
asking her, not you. There are warning signs, aren't there? Do you see any inclinations towards suicide?
Dr. Banks.
It's a legitimate question.
Answer the questions so we can.
I said I didn't want to discuss.
She's not talking about your daughter's overdose.
Suicide!
Dear
Wait.
God.
Come to me. Because Flanagan didn't get lucky like Mrs. Vasquez. She didn't have anything to walk in and save her because I was here!
You said it was an accident.
I lied! She left a note. Mom, I can't keep living in this world. I'm not as strong as her mother. Morality, Mom. Right, Al?
Sorry, I have to prep.
Final vote.
Johnny's girlfriend doing anything else we should know?
Nothing that should affect your decision.
What does that mean?
Following your protocol, decisions are to be made with nothing but fact. As you said, Doctor, this is not a congeniality contest.
Final vote.
Mr. Piero?
Mr. Bank.
Dr. Banks?
I want to vote for Mr. Pike or Mrs. Vasquez. I don't want to think about the Blazer money. But the fact is that Donnie potentially has many more years to live here. I vote for Donnie.
Mr. Pike has one vote, Dr. Blazer's one vote.
I don't trust you. Not for what you said, but for what you haven't. And I don't trust the board that would yank Jack out of the sick bed and bring you two here to run things.
Who are you voting for?
You, Jack, I'm voting for you. Since the board didn't want you here. It's your program, you said it yourself. And if you want to pass on a $50 million opportunity, that's your call. But when this program crumbles, we'll see if they still think of you as Saint Jack. Don't call me because I won't be here. I want out. Serena Vasquez gets the heart. Donnie Blazer stays on the list. Maybe he'll get lucky. If he doesn't, his kid will. I'll be in surgery.
Prep Serena Vasquez for heart surgery.
Father, what else did Eric Madsen tell you?
She claims she and Donnie were heading for the airport, and she told him she was pregnant. He was furious. He forced her out of his Jeep halfway down a mountain during a snowstorm. She could have died. She wants to file charges. And if you had had that information, any of you, would you have been able to come to an objective decision?
Yes, one moment, please. Dr. Clee, Mr. Brazier's on the line. Should we go on speaker?
No, I'll take it. Mr. Blazer, no. He'll be ready. He's sending an ambulance to take him to the skyport. They've got a heart waiting in Boston.
He had Donnie multiple listed.
What does that mean?
A patient can be listed at more than one hospital. Any hospital they can get to within 2 hours. He might have had Donnie listed at dozens.
It helps to all your own plane.
That's it. Party tonight at my place, 8 o'clock. Bella?
I'm there.
Dr. Banks?
Why not? Now I can't sleep. I just voted for a man who tried to kill his girlfriend and child. He'll make these decisions every week. It's too hard.
You should quit when it isn't.
Don't understand. Dr. Coker sent me here because I was useless to him. I flew with him last week to New Haven. 5 doctors wanting 5 different organs. Standing over the body of a high school football player who burst an artery. 5 grown men fighting over who cuts first. I had to leave. And I got so sick.
It's happened to all of us.
But today I feel worse. Hopeless. I can't keep doing this, doctor.
Ma'am?
No.
Oh, come on, you've got to come. You'll miss my one-man rendition of River Jazz.
I just thank you.
Yeah.
You wanted Donnie Blazer to get the heart. She almost did. Thought you knew how these people would vote. Thought Dr. Gorman would pass out the money. That's why you sent him to see Donnie's girlfriend, because you knew she was pregnant. And you have an outsider here who could later swear the proceedings were kosher. Well done, Doctor. I doubt I could ever prove it. I'm recommending to the board that an attorney monitor these sessions every week. I'll volunteer myself. You wouldn't object to that, would you, Doctor?
Not at all. Welcome to company.
So what will happen in Boston if Donnie is obviously okay?
Why would you come to Noble for?
Jack. It's me.
Noelle. Mr. Blazer called last night. I was caught off guard, too stunned to be furious.
What did he promise you?
A win. A clean win. When you told us that Louis Longo died, I put my hands in my pockets and just like that, I realized how easy it would be for Donnie to get his heart, me to get my ring. I put the Nova Farm in Donnie's country. I wanted to matter. Like Mr. Pike, I wanted to leave something behind. Something that would last. But I'm too late. have it, Doctor.